Hey guys, today we're going to be doing another 15 facts about something that I do enjoy. So we're going to be doing 15 facts about Scorpion, who's actually always been one of my favorite characters growing up from Mortal Kombat. And he is the mascot, and of course you all know that he is famous for his quote for saying "Get over here" in Mortal Kombat, and he is the mascot of Mortal Kombat, and he's like a very popular character, and he's been known by everyone. So we're going to look up 15 things about Scorpion that we did not even know. Starting with the first one, 15. He is a fan of Terminator Judgment Day. Who would have thought that the undead Hellspawn loved movies as much as we do and had such impeccable taste to boot? Though Scorpion never tells us explicitly how much he adores James Cameron's 1991 action masterpiece, he definitely gives Terminator 2 Judgment Day a wink, or should we say a thumbs up, during one of his scenes in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Once you defeat Scorpion, keep an eye for the Easter egg after a group of skeletons drag Scorpion into the lava. Before scumbling to the fiery depths, Scorpion's arm raises up and he gives the player a thumbs up. This is an undeniable nod to the ending of T2, where the T-800 gives the same endearing gesture to John Connor before submerging himself into a vat of molten metal. Now, if only Scorpion had been a die-hard fan, he could have duct taped the gun to his back and saved himself from the lava in the first place. 14. He may be based on a real person. Though many of Mortal Kombat's human characters use codenames such as Bai-Han and Kuai Liang, both adapting the moniker of Sub-Zero, you may have thought the Hellspawn was forever known as Scorpion, but in fact, Scorpion was once an honorable man who went by the name of Hanzo Hasashi, and the name may be a reference to the famous samurai Hattori Hanzo. During the Japanese Sengoku period, specifically the mid-late 16th century, Hattori Hanzo was a well-known ninja who was credited with saving the life of Tokugawa Ieyasu, who he then helped become the ruler of Japan. Hanzo was known as the master spear fighter, which is a possible reference to Scorpion's palm spears. Over-exaggerated tales of Hanzo's exploits also include the samurai's ability to quickly disappear then reappear in another location, which can also be seen in Scorpion's signature teleportation attacks. Even 400 years after his death, Hattori Hanzo remains a noticeable character in popular culture, receiving shoutouts in the 80s cartoon Thundercats and Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. Though we can't say Scorpion was definitely based off Hattori Hanzo, the similarities only add another layer of intrigue to the already mysterious character. He's voiced by the game creator. Ed Boon, who co-created the series alongside John Tobias, provided his voice for Scorpion in every installment of the series up until Mortal Kombat X. While Tobias served as a lead designer, Boon served as the series' lead programmer as well as a voice actor, and he helped make Scorpion famous. "Get over here!" taunted the most popular catchphrase in the games. Boon also provided his vocal talent for Scorpion in both feature films, even though the character was played by different actors in each movie. Variations of the phrase can be heard throughout the series. For instance, in the verse mode of Mortal Kombat, Shaolin Monks, after the player spams Scorpion's spear move repeatedly, the catchphrases would become increasingly aggressive, saying "Get the over here" and "Get over here, bitch," which will no doubt add to your competitor's agitation. In 2008 edition of Guinness World Records Gamers Edition, Boon was even awarded the world record for longest-serving video game voice actor. As Boon continues to be actively involved in the Mortal Kombat series and its various side projects, it's safe to assume that he'll be back to voice his favorite character once again. 12. He was already dead before the first tournament begins. Like much of the Mortal Kombat series, large chunks of the story take place in between each game, which leaves the player to connect the dots of each character's story arc. But the same can be said about the beginning of the series, and these characters have backstories which gives them reasons to want to fight in a tournament in the first place, and as it turns out, Scorpion's reason for competing is better than most. When he arrives at the first tournament, Scorpion is already an undead ninja Spectre, seeking revenge for his own death at the hands of Bai-Han. Bai-Han, the original Sub-Zero, was a member of the Lin Kuei, whereas Scorpion Hanzo Hasashi was one of the finest warriors of the Shirai Ryu. The Chinese and Japanese clans were fierce rivals, and after being slain, Scorpion aligned himself with anyone good or bad who will aid in his revenge against Bai-Han. We also can't help but think that showing up to a fighting tournament and not having to fear death is definitely an advantage that Scorpion had over his fellow combatants. 11. He's the only character to kill someone in the first tournament. That's not a surprise. By the end of the first tournament, Scorpion gets his revenge against Bai-Han, and interestingly enough, he is the only character to kill somebody during the first tournament in the original Mortal Kombat game. After Mortal Kombat Armageddon, the series rebooted itself in the 2011 game simply titled Mortal Kombat. Following the deaths of nearly all of the characters, Raiden sends a message back in time to his younger self in an attempt to alter the course of events. In the new timeline, it almost appeared as though Scorpion was going to spare Bai-Han's life. Scorpion defeats Kung Lao and Nightwolf during the tournament, but refuses to kill either of them. Raiden then convinces Scorpion to also spare Sub-Zero's life in exchange for Raiden trying to resurrect Scorpion's fallen loved ones. Scorpion agrees, but after Quan Chi shows Scorpion's false visions of his family being murdered by Bai-Han, he ultimately decides to kill the Cryomancer once again. 10. He can suppress his Scorpion persona. After being murdered by the Lin Kuei assassin, Hanzo Hasashi became a tortured soul wandering the nether realm, intrigued by his never-ending lust for revenge. The evil necromancer Quan Chi resurrected Hanzo as the Revenant Scorpion. In the earlier games, there was no indication that Scorpion could return to his human form. However, in the later games, and particularly the Mortal Kombat X comics, Hanzo is able to control his evil persona, much in the same way Bruce Banner can learn to control the Hulk. In the comics, during the final hours of Netherrealm War, Hanzo's life is restored. He contemplates suicide only to be saved by the blinded warrior Kenshi Takahashi. Later, when Hanzo is poisoned by one of his enemies, he suffers visions of his family being killed. When he awakens, he once again breathes hellfire. Hanzo confesses to one of his students that hellfire is not a fighting style that can be taught. It is a curse. Hanzo can only call upon the demonic powers by reliving the tragic murder of his wife and child. Hanzo continues to suppress his Scorpion persona, and he eventually becomes a warrior for Earthrealm. Oh, that's crazy. Nine. He previously allied himself with Sub-Zero after Mortal Kombat 2. Oh, crap. Thing froze again. Oh no, where did it go? Oh, there we go. He previously allied himself with Sub-Zero after Mortal Kombat 2. In Mortal Kombat X, the characters of Scorpion and Sub-Zero are finally able to make peace when Scorpion learns that Quan Chi is the true architect of all of his suffering. However, the two adversaries were actually able to put their differences behind them decades earlier during the conclusion of Mortal Kombat 2. When Scorpion becomes shocked and enraged that Sub-Zero is participating in the second tournament, the Hellspawn leaves his home in the Netherrealm to face off against his murderer once again. However, he discovers that the new Sub-Zero is not Bai-Han, but his younger brother, Kuai Liang. Kuai is a merciful assassin who ultimately defeats and spares Scorpion's life. Now with a newfound respect for his mortal enemy, Scorpion actually becomes Kuai Liang's secret protector. I can't even say that name right. After being recruited by the Emperor Shao Kahn, for his fighting abilities, Scorpion was forced to turn his back on the Emperor when he discovered that Quan Lang was fighting for the other side. However, in Mortal Kombat 4, Scorpion is told by Quan Chi that the second Sub-Zero was responsible for murdering his family, which reignites the famous Scorpion Sub-Zero rivalry. It's a bit complicated. His toasty fatality has appeared in most games. It's only appropriate that one of the most beloved MK characters has the most popular fatality. Scorpion's toasty fatality has appeared in the 9 MK games to date, making its first appearance in the original Mortal Kombat. The fatality includes Scorpion ripping off his mask to reveal a flaming skull underneath. The character then spawns hellfire upon his opponent, usually searching off their skin and flesh until they're nothing but skeleton. The toasty fatality was really made famous by Dan Forden, a music composer who worked on several famous arcade games, including the MK series. Forden was friends with creator Ed Boon, who ultimately decided to throw Forden's face and the toasty expression into the game. The mock is no doubt a reward to those who pull off the deadly move, while also being an annoyance to anyone who suffers at the hands of Scorpion's hellfire. A few variations of the line can be heard in different games, including Toasty 3D and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and Crispy, when players are fighting in Scorpion's lair. He was always the first opponent in Mortal Kombat Advance. Mortal Kombat Advance was the Game Boy version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and it was released on December 12th of 2001 to universal ridicule. The storyline was largely the same as MK3, although the graphics were downsized, the blood was minimized, and the number of fatalities and stages were removed from the game. Mortal Kombat Advance was subsequently ranked one of the worst games ever for the Game Boy Advance, and the editor of the Electronic Gaming Monthly even gave the game the first 0 rating in the magazine's history. Why so much hate, you might ask? Because the game wasn't just a downgrade, it was also infuriatingly hard. Even when playing in easy mode, the computer opponents would get stuck in never-ending combo loops, making it nearly impossible to advance to the next fight. On top of that, Scorpion, an atrociously difficult fighter to begin with, was always the first character a player would have to compete against. Gamers were thrown into the fire right out of the gate, and fans were not appreciative of that. This product contains what? What the hell's going on here? Okay, what the freak? Okay. That was weird. Okay, that was really awkward. Sorry about that, guys. He's originally from Osaka, Japan. According to the official MK4 strategy guide, Hanzo Hasashi is originally from Osaka, Japan, and in certain MKX intros, particularly with the character Takada, Hanzo dialogue is even spoken in Japanese. To bring some authenticity to the character, actor Ian Nathani Dale was cast to play Scorpion in Mortal Kombat Legacy, a web-anthology series that debuted on Machima's YouTube channel back in 2011. Dale may be an American actor, but he is of French, English, and most importantly, Japanese descendant. Since the objective of web series was to the ground, Mortal Kombat The Real World Scorpion's dialogue is spoken in Japanese with English subtitles. The 2-part episode, simply titled Scorpion and Sub-Zero, takes the place in wintry Japanese landscape, where the audience is given an in-depth look at Hanzo Hasashi's backstory as an honorable family man and a member of the Shirai Ryu before he is ultimately betrayed and turned into the Hellspawn known as Scorpion. He's a downloadable character in Injustice Gods Among Us. Oh wow, never knew that. Also a product of NetherRealm Studios, Injustice Gods Among Us is a Mortal Kombat-style fighting game featuring a cast story set within an alternate timeline for the Justice League, which finds Superman establishing a new world order after being bested by the Joker. The game was well received by critics and even earned the award for Best Fighting Game in 2013. Its sequel is due to out sometime next year. Despite being set in the DC universe, the character of Scorpion was later added as the third downloadable character for the game, following Global and Batgirl. Scorpion was also given an entirely new costume design by comic book artist Jim Lee to better incorporate the character into the game. In his character's intro, Scorpion is about to deliver his death blow to annihilate Sub-Zero once and for all, when suddenly he is transported into another reality. At the close of the game, Scorpion is searching for answers about who summoned him into the strange new world. I gotta look that up after this. 4. He's an all-around athlete. While Scorpion has appeared in a few spin-off fighting games outside of Mortal Kombat series, the Hellspawn has also made appearances in a number of sports games, including NBA Jam, Tournament Edition, and Major League Baseball Slugfest. NBA Jam was released by Midway in 1993 as an arcade basketball game. It was extremely popular among gamers, raking in over $1 billion in quarters and becoming the highest-earning arcade game within a year of its release. The game became infamous for including non-NBA players, as it was possible to play a 2-on-2 game of basketball with President Bill Clinton, First Lady Hillary Clinton, Scorpion, and Raiden. Just seeing these characters donning a pair of short shorts was already enough to make NBA Jam an instant arcade classic. Scorpion also made an appearance in Major League Baseball Slugfest, where it was possible to have an entire team of Scorpions face off against a team of Sub-Zeros. The game even allowed players to attack the other teammates and would let you swap out a sword for the traditional baseball bat. That's cool. He has more skins than any other character in MKX. The character's appearance has come a long way since the original 1992 game, where Scorpion actually started out as a Palliate swap from the original Sub-Zero. In the latest Mortal Kombat game, while a number of characters have 5 skin swaps, including Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, and Katana and Scorpion, you actually has a total of 7 swaps, all of which can be obtained through unlocks or downloadable content. The classic Scorpion skin available in MKX as reminiscent of the original character, compete with a black hood, yellow mask, and cloth ninja suit. The most intricate skin, titled Injustice, features the character in jagged armor reminiscent of an actually Scorpion with claws that curl around the character's shoulders and hood. This skin can only be unlocked by beating 100 ladders on the mobile app. Meanwhile, if you like to play as the characters in his more honorable human form without having a mask shielding his expressions, the skin of Hanzo Hasashi can be unlocked by completing level 10 of MKX Story Mode. Scorpion's other skins include Tournament, Cold War, and Fared and Gold. Scorpion Sub-Zero co-op game was once in the works. In 2005, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks was released, which expanded on the typical fighting game format by centering around story mode. Shaolin Monks focused on Liu Kang and Kung Lao, 2 of Earthrealm's most prestigious warriors, as they traveled through various realms attempting to thwart the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung. The game sold over 1 million copies and was greeted with positive reviews. A sequel with the working the Mortal Kombat Fire and Ice was planned, and was even put into development from late 2005 to early 2006 by Paradox Development. The story would focus around a co-op between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and a prototype level was even built with the two characters featured in 3D. Unfortunately, Paradox couldn't get the game done in time and under budget. A large chunk of studio was laid off, and Paradox was eventually renamed Midway Studios Los Angeles. Despite no signs that the game will ever continue its development, we can't help but wonder what a co-op game between Scorpion and Sub-Zero would look like. After all, their relationship is certainly a rocky one. But if Quan Chi was the primary villain, we could definitely imagine the two teaming up to fight alongside each other once again. He's appeared in every game except MK3. It's no secret that Scorpion is one of the creator Ed Boon's favorite characters. He provides the voice for him. After all, Scorpion was given more makeovers than any other characters in MKX, and he has appeared in every game aside from 1995 Mortal Kombat 3. MK3 swapped out a few series favorites, including Scorpion and Raiden, in exchange for some new playable characters such as Nightwolf, Cabal, and the widely loathed Striker. MK3 also stepped away from its Eastern theme and set to fighting in a more modern Western setting such as urban highways and city rooftops. Therefore, Sub-Zero remains the only character to appear in every Mortal Kombat game to date, though both Scorpion and Raiden were added into Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 later that year, making that version of the game indisputably superior. After all, what good is Mortal Kombat game without the presence of our favorite anti-hero? So did we forget any need-to-know information about Scorpion? Let us know in the comments. Wow, that's pretty interesting, all those facts about Scorpion. Alright guys, that's about it.